What up? What up? What up? That's that feel good music right there. That feel good music. What's going on, everybody? Uh yes, I am not Antoine yet again. Yet again. But welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Commentators.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host for tonight. Of course, y'all know me. I am producer Wiley. And I got my dog with me, Mr. Garrett. What's good with you, dog?
What's going on with you, my brother? How you doing?
You know, just a just a black man in this world trying to make it. That's about it.
I feel you. I feel you. You
How's
got
everything
to.
going with you, man? I know you said before we got on, I know you said you just got back from out of town and stuff, but how's everything going, man?
Yeah, man. Been out for a few days. Had to go out of town for uh, just to get away for a little bit. I
Yeah.
had to take care of a family matter, but yeah, everything's been good. Same old, writing articles and covering the NBA world. So you know how it is. So, but another day in the book. So I was ready to jump in and get it in.
Oh yeah. Of course we got plenty of stuff to talk about. Before we get started, first of all, that QR code, please scan that QR code. Go ahead and follow us all, follow the socials, go ahead and hop on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube page. Of course, I will do my best as far as making sure that we get our clips out, to just to continue to promote the show, but also tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell their mama and them to pull on up. Please
Yeah,
pull on up. Now,
everybody, come on in. Come on
in all
into the room.
seriousness, pull up, come rock with us, come fuck with us on some of this NBA talk, man. But before we get into the NBA talk, there was an article that came out this morning. But I saw I got the ESPN notification sometime in the afternoon, but the article dropped this morning at like 10 o'clock, and it's dealing with a little bit of point shaving in the Chinese basketball association and in college. I didn't you know I don't hold up. First off, is gambling legal out there in Georgia?
To my understanding, no,
Okay,
it's
so
not.
that's why I asked. You may be able to do what's the job prize picks, like you I
Right,
think
right, right, right.
you could probably do prize picks out there.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but article dropped this morning and says many college players among dozens charged in point shaving plot.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I want my money back. Fuck all that. I want my bread back. I don't even know off the rip. I want my money back.
Hmm.
And I don't even know what who's involved, what school's involved, none of that. I want my bread back. But
Yeah.
um I checked out the article, and so pretty much kind of sum it up a little bit. Uh
There's a lot of information.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot because it's a lot of it's quite a bit of people that are involved. There's 20 people, 20 defendants, but then there's also 29 plus NCAA Division One players, men
Hmm.
players that are involved in 39 players, 17 teams, 17 schools. Um, Long story short, prosecutors or said organizers, including two defendants, described as fixers, recruited players and with bribes, reportedly around 10 grand to 30 grand per game, uh, to influence scoring margins so gamblers can win their bets on point spreads. Not necessarily, not necessarily, you know, influencing the outcome, so to speak, but pretty much,
Hmm.
if you gamble, you know how the game go when it comes to point spread.
Yep.
Uh, the indictment suggests that the scheme began in September 2022 with games in the Chinese Basketball Association and expanded to the NCAA basketball roughly around the 2023-24 season and the 2024-25. So pretty much the last two seasons. The names that were thrown out there, the first set of names that you see are Simeon Cotto from Kennesaw State, Carlos Hart from Eastern Michigan, Camion Shell from Delaware State, and this last guy, I had to look his name up so I don't fuck it up. Or Kurasi.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there. But and as far as the school, and and Umar is at Texas Southern. Some of the schools that were identified in this case, Abilene Christian, Alabama State, Buffalo, Copper State, DePaul, Eastern Michigan, Fordham, Kennesaw State, LaSalle, New Orleans, Nichols State, North Carolina A&T, Northwestern State, Robert Morris, St. Louis, Southern Miss, and Tulane. So quite a few schools down there in Louisiana. But I hit this over to you, man. I'm not sure if you got a chance to read it, but just hearing what's going on, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man. I think I'm just gonna call it for what it is. I think it's just a lot of stupidity from these kids going out and making these kind of decisions, because when I read it, and just to get a better understanding of what it is and what's going on, it's where these players are being paid to intentionally underperform during these games. And so the way I look at it is, okay, you are a college player. You not only represent yourself, but you also represent the college institution that you play for, and for your coaches, and for your team as well. So the fact of the matter is that you're underperforming to help gamblers, win bets, but you're still doing it at a level to where you don't really affect the game score, because you're basically playing enough just to get by. But that's still underperformance, because that's one of the expectations from your coach or your head or your coaches, is to go out and take it to the max. So the fact of the matter is that that's, to me, is a disgrace to everybody that you represent. And also, this is against the law. I mean, you could actually go to jail for this too. So my whole thing is like my whole thing is like you're throwing your life away to an extent, or you're putting yourself in a position to where you suffer significant consequences over money. And we already know that all money isn't good money. Right. So it's like, if this is involving money through illegal action, then you're not going to get anything good from it. So I just feel like these kids, they should know better. But if it's anything illegal, I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
Oh,
it's just crazy.
And this is not the year. College is not like what it used to be, especially with NIL. You're able to make money off your name, image, and likeness.
That's
and it's like, so. And I don't know these players' pedigree as far as the teams that they're on. I don't know if they're like the top player of their team, of their prospective school or whatnot. But there's more ways to make money legally.
Of course,
legally, you can make plenty of money legally. You do not have to go this route. This is pretty much this is blue chips playing out, except you don't have the bag man like they used to back in the day. Yeah. But this is blue chips. All these motherfuckers are Tony out here point shaving and motherfucking, out here doing, whatever, again, to affect the game, but not to necessarily lose the game, just making sure that that point spread land where it needs to land.
Yeah.
But God bless them, man. Good Jesus. Like I said, I seen that come across. I was like, yo, like why are we doing it? But also, I want my fucking money back.
Yeah, I would want
I
my money
kind of
back too, but I ain't
may
even.
have, I may have bet, I may have placed a bet on one or two, maybe three of these schools that were listed.
Well,
I want my money. No,
man, shoot.
but see,
That's
that's
why
why
I don't gamble. That's why I don't gamble these days.
that's why they
I'm not.
call
I'm not. I'm not a gambler. I mean, I may do it here and there though, but
it
I
right.
ain't
I
putting up a
dibble it,
lot of bread.
man, dog. My bets are $5
No
here,
sir.
$2 here. The most I think I've bet, the most money I may have put down on a bet is probably about $15.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going that high on my bets.
Yeah. I think
Not at
it may
all.
have been. It may have been $100 because I remember one time. This was back in 2021. I think this was during COVID. I had
Mhm.
went to Atlantic City with my family and stuff just to get away and stuff. And the hotel or the resort rather we were staying there, they had this uh I guess this sport venue to where you could sit
Yeah,
down and watch the games, have the multiple games on multiple screens
yeah,
and
got
stuff.
sports
And I
book.
had yeah, exactly that's what it was. And I was putting bets on different games, and I think I may have put like $100 total. Man, I walked away with like $20, and I'm just like, I was so close of getting more
Right.
against for the teams I was rooting for. I was like, bro, they were
Mhm.
so close winning the games, bro. I could have walked out with a lot more, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, dang. But
Dog, I rather play blackjack
yeah,
than the fucking, like I said, I dabble in it. I got the app on, I got a couple of apps on my phone. Ain't a
yeah,
lot of money on it. Like I don't
yeah,
deposit a lot of money on it.
yeah,
But when, like I said, when I bet, it's a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. Like I said, I'd rather go to a casino and go play motherfucking blackjack. At least I know I got a fighting chance to win some money
mm.
while I'm sitting at the table.
Hey, Vegas, it has a whole lot for you. As soon as you as soon as you get off the airplane, you got casinos waiting for you, bro.
Listen,
Ready to take your money
off the muscle. They got them in the airport. They got
off
them
the
everywhere.
airport, man. Everywhere,
Where you go,
man. They just ready to take your money. He ain't no joke.
dog. But
Ah,
as we get ready to get to it, man, let's go ahead and slide on into some NBA talk, man. Off the rip. The funny part is Antoine's
Antoine is not here, so he's gonna
Antoine's
miss it. You
Antoine's
know, he's not gonna be here as much as he talks about it. But I mean,
y'all know
hey,
if y'all watch or listen to the show, y'all know jersey retirements is Antoine's wheelhouse, and we get to talk about the splash father, Mr. Dell Curry.
yes, sir.
It's been announced that he will get his jersey retired by the Charlotte Hornets on
Mhm,
March 19th. They play against the Orlando Magic that day. Also,
mhm.
Steph and Seth, now that they are on teams, they are off that day. I checked. So I'm pretty sure they'll be in the building. All the family, all the kids, grandkids, everybody gonna be there. Um,
Mhm.
but shout out to first off, shout out to Dale Curry, man. Like, so this is the part where Antoine gets it will get interested. Yes, I got to watch Dale Curry play as I growing up. During this time frame, this like 93. So actually this is definitely when the Bulls are kicking ass and taking names. But um Dale Curry got there. He got there. Actually, I just learned this as I was doing my research. He got there. He got to Charlotte during the expansion draft. He was unprotected. He was
Right.
unprotected at the time. He was with the Cavs. Got drafted by the Jazz. Got sent over. Got traded to the Cavs, and then in come Charlotte and Miami, and now he's unprotected and was the second. He was Charlotte's second overall pick in the expansion draft, and
Mm.
get there, plays 10 seasons, win six man of the year in the 93 94 season, where he averaged 16, roughly just over 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. They went 40. They went 40-41, I believe. They went 40-41, if I'm not mistaken. 40-41. Yeah, 40-42. Sorry, 82 game season. So yeah, they went 40-42 that season.
Okay.
But when you think about Dale Curry, of course, when you hear Dale Curry, we always think about Steph. We think about Steph more than both of them. No disrespect to Seth, but of
Mhm.
course we think about Steph. He's the second. Wardell Stephen Curry the second. So,
Mhm.
but growing up and watching Dale Curry, who like you can tell he hit during this time frame. Everybody had a role on the team, and he knew his role. Like, oh yeah, Muggsy Bogues was a part of this draft as well. So this is both him and Muggsy come in, and they pretty much set the tone, they set the culture for the Hornets during this time frame. We also during this time frame, that's when they get Alonzo Mourning, they get Larry Johnson. Like they ended up they had a really really good squad that competed and gave teams fits. And to see Dale Curry, come in and make a name for himself. Uh, as he, once he retired, he ended up being the Hornet. He led the Hornets in points, games played, 3 pointers made and attempted, and 3-point percentage. So to pretty much you set the tone as a Hornet, and now you become the second player to have their jersey retired. First player was Bobby Fields, but that was he had an unfortunate passing in a car accident in January 2000, and they retired his jersey that following month. But to be the second person to have your jersey retired for this organization is pretty dope to me. Just because when you think about the Charlotte Hornets, depending on who you ask, it's not all good memories. But
That's true. Yep.
but like I said, for someone like myself who's a little bit older and did get to see them play, it's a lot of good memories. Like that again, that team they fought their ass off. You catch them on the wrong day, you gonna get got.
Mhm.
So I will, of course, I've dribbled the air out the ball enough. I will go ahead and pass it over to you, man. What you got for Mr. Dale Curry?
Yeah. Yeah. So a big shout out to Mr. Dell Curry. Congratulations. I know this will be a very special moment for him and his family, of course. And I know that his family will be there with Steph and Seth will, his sons will be there. But um yeah, I think that to your point about Charlotte as a whole, there's not many good memories to go around.
Right.
But I think it's one of those or I think Charlotte's one of those organizations where even though that this team hasn't gone through a lot of success, they've been to the playoffs before here and there, and it to me it seems like there's one of those teams where they had I guess exciting players to go and watch, but like I said, they never been to the finals. They never made a deep playoff run before, to my understanding. But regardless, after all these years, there just hasn't been much success for Charlotte. But for Del Curry, like you mentioned, he was the sixth man of the year. He was known as a sharp shooting guard. Providing instant offense and spacing with the shooting. And then to your point, he retired as the Hornets all time leader in points and 3 pointers. So um, that's a really good resume for a player that used to, that was retired as a Charlotte Hornet. So think for Dell Curry, to your point, we know that when we think of Dell, we think of Steph Curry. So um, I think it would be more than just him getting his jersey retired. I think that I think this will also be attached to Steph Curry as well, uh, because we know that even for me, I don't have any kids, but I know that a lot of parents in general they want their kids to be better than what they did. That's
Yeah,
go any parent. So the way I look at it is that I think this will be a very special moment, particularly for Steph, because he grew up watching his dad play this game. He's seen how great of a three-point shooter he was and how effective he was as a player for Charlotte. So
mhm,
we know, from this point, fast forward to this point now, Steph is the best shooter of all time. So I know that when
hard
uh
stop.
yeah, so we know that on March 19th, it will be a special day for both of them. And we know when Steph gets to the point when his jersey is retired, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to salute his father for being
Mhm.
the player that he is. Because, like I said, Dell was a great three-point shooter, back in the day. And then now his son was able to come into the NBA, follow his footsteps, and do something a hell of a lot better than, what he did. So that's my takeaway on his jersey retirement. So I think this is more of a shared moment. Of course, it's all going to be about Dell and his achievements, but I think it's going to be more of a father and son connection because you're talking about two players, father and son, that played this game and that were known for their shooting abilities. And so I think that's the biggest takeaway. So, like I said, big shout out to Dell Curry. I'm not gonna pull an Antoine today because I'm not gonna go down the road about who players should get retired or
Nah,
nothing like that.
hell
But
nah.
no, I think it's long overdue. So I know he's gonna be very excited for it, and I'm very happy for him. So he definitely deserves it.
Oh yeah, and to add just this last little piece before we move on, um, he's also been the Hornets broadcaster since
Yep,
2009, so that also takes into effect too.
a long
And
time.
I watched the video that the Hornets put up on YouTube. Like they did about a 16, 17 minute video, and pretty much he's being interviewed. He's being
Hmm.
interviewed, and they start from like the beginning, and
Yeah,
they make it. They just talk. It's two guys talking, and they lead all the way up and up into the announcement, and you can uh, definitely tell that he did not see this coming. He didn't see this coming.
yeah.
I don't think when you have a career like Dale Curry, you don't necessarily think about that stuff because it's like I played my time, I did my time. I had a great career, got to play with some great players along the way, and now I get to broadcast the game that I love. Like,
Hmm.
not only do I get to broadcast it, I have two sons who are in the league
Yep.
that are doing great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think this is just for him. This seems like the cherry on top. Uh, just for him personally. I and of course, I can't speak on him, but I feel like this is just the cherry on top to for you get your jersey retired from the organization that you played for a while back that you currently broadcast
Hmm.
for, which is pretty dope. So yeah,
Yeah.
again, congrats to them. Definitely worth you having your jersey retired, man. Uh,
Absolutely.
as we move on, season's been going. We touched on this a little bit. Well, we touched on this last episode because last episode Trey Young got traded, and
Hmm.
then we talked about Anthony Davis, and now there's a little bit more commotion going on, and so now trade deadlines trade trade deadline is approaching, I say it's fast. I would say it's fastly approaching, just because
Yep.
how time flies. Granted, we're in the middle of January at this moment, but the deadline is February 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we had Jonathan Kaminga come out, or we had reports come out saying that Jonathan Kaminga requested a trade from the Golden State Warriors, which if you haven't been following, this was kind of set up that way. Hence the reason why, to me, why the deal for his contract negotiations went the way they did. Golden State was trying to set this up to where his contract is tradable, but
Right.
I also think that a lot of contracts in the NBA, you might as well write them shits on toilet paper, because as you can see, these teams these teams will get from under a player in a heartbeat if they can find a way.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we'll start with, what teams do you expect to make moves before the trade deadline, before or leading up to the trade deadline?
Ooh, yeah, there's quite a few teams. First and foremost, I can guarantee Golden State will trade Jonathan Kaminga
Yeah.
because, to your point, they knew it was only a matter of time that they were going to trade him, because they've been uh trying to find a way to trade him for a good minute. And
Mhm.
today is the day where he is finally eligible to get traded. So I'm
Yeah.
more than likely he'll get traded. So yeah, I expect Golden State to make a move. I expect Atlanta to at least make one move. I'm not sure if it'll be for Anthony Davis or Daniel Gafford, but I expect them to, um,
Get off.
make some sort of
Get
moves to
rid.
improve the roster.
I think they
Yeah.
get rid of Chris Epps.
Yeah, I think so too. Of course, we have other players such as Luke Kennard and CJ McCollum who are on expiring contracts. So,
Yeah.
of course, they could be used to get a
Oh,
bigger piece.
they'll be using sweeten the deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we got we have a lot of room to work with. So yeah, we have a lot to work with. So yeah, I
Yeah.
expect Atlanta to be in the mix. I expect Miami to be in the mix as well. It
Yeah.
seems like that they're making a push to trade for John Morant. Nothing is imminent at the moment, but I expect them to be aggressive in trying to get John Morant. Of course, with everything going on with Terry Rozier and the whole gambling thing, I expect them to move
Oh,
on from him.
they gonna get
And
him off them books quick.
yeah, they are.
First
So I
thing
expect
smoking.
them to. I expect them, and also I also saw that John Morant purchased a house down in Miami. So
Oh God.
context clue, maybe. Um, and I also would expect Dallas to make a move. I wouldn't say necessarily a guarantee, because of course we know with Anthony Davis, he's not having to have surgery on his injured right hand, I believe that he had injured recently. But it seems like that they're okay with keeping him if push comes to shove.
Man.
So I don't think that they will get rid of him for nothing. So it's just a matter of, if there's a deal out there that would make sense for them to make a move, then I think they would do it. But I
Mhm.
think that they will. I think AD will get traded. So it's just depending on where he's going to go.
Yeah.
And Sacramento, I think that they are a team to be on the lookout for. Domantas Sabonis has been a name out there. I believe
Shit.
Toronto has been interested in him. So Toronto's another team that I would expect to be in the mix. So those are the teams that have been out there, that's been mentioned a lot over the past week or so. So of
Dog, that's
course,
crazy.
yeah,
Every
man. I
every
mean,
team that you've named, I have on my notes. I have
oh,
who I
I
think
get,
I have, but I took mine a little bit further as
yeah,
far as who I think they should get,
yeah,
like who they should trade for. But like every team that you've named thus far,
hmm,
I'm like, yep, 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 yeah. Every team,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, other teams could emerge because things can happen at the last minute. Now, just for the record, when it comes to the trade deadline, there's not uh it varies. We've seen in previous seasons where you see a lot of action, and then there, I guess over the last couple uh you know seasons, uh we've seen big trades happen, but not still too much going on. I mean, we saw Luca get traded to the Lakers, and you've seen some other small deals here and there. So I'm not sure we're gonna get anything like that this year,
Hell, if we
but you never
do,
know. You
if
never
we
know,
do
but boy.
something terribly wrong,
Man, it's just like this has just got too out of hand. I mean, we've already had the first big trade already when Trey got traded to Washington. Um, I'm not sure
oh, bro,
how
I still
much
can't
that will
believe.
shake up.
I
Yeah,
still
I
can't believe
mean,
I didn't get no picks. At
hey,
least
man.
one. And I don't know if
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if
mean,
they asked for picks, but I damn sure would have been like, yo, second round, first round, late first round. No,
yeah, draft capital would have
I
been
mean,
nice, but
all I'm
yeah.
saying is you never know until you ask.
Yeah, you're right. I think that if I know for sure we would have received picks for sure if we traded him 2 3 years ago.
Yeah,
But that's a different conversation.
yeah,
But no, yeah, I mean I'm not sure if that trade will. I don't think that trade will shake up the league in any capacity to an extent. For other teams to go out and make other moves, maybe, but no, we've already had one big trade go down
mm,
already, so we may see others go down. So yeah, those are the teams to be on the lookout for between now and trade deadline. Like Wiley mentioned, the trade deadline is on February 5th. So you should hear more conversations to heat up.
mhm,
And of course, if you guys want to see about what's been going on, if you want to get trade intel, uh, follow people like Jake Fisher, Mark Stein, subscribe to their channels on Substack just to get quality information. You can also subscribe to The Athletic and subscribe to their writers for your favorite teams just to see what news are that's updated. So yeah, there's a lot of information to see. So
yeah.
yeah, make
We
sure to keep
got
yourself
time.
updated.
We got time, but we don't have time
Yeah, we can't go everything.
because like I said, that deadline gonna come quick. Why is my
Yeah,
wife?
man. This month is already going by pretty fast. So
Dog, hey, 2026 got somewhere to be. At least January got somewhere to be. I don't know
it's
where it
like
got
that
to go.
every year. Every
It
year.
got to get the fuck on. But
Every year.
all right. So with the teams that we mentioned, like I said, we both, which is crazy because we have not talked about this at all. It was, hey, what teams we think? I got mine. He got his, and they're pretty
Yeah.
much the same teams. So with that being said, let's start with the Warriors. So, and
Mhm.
of course, with Jonathan Kuminga requesting a trade, to me, Golden State they either need a shooter or a big. To me, they need both. They need a shooter and a big. Um,
Mhm.
Jonathan Kuminga is a great piece to get rid of
Mhm.
because there's value there. We just don't see the value because he ain't getting no playing time.
I love Jonathan Kaminga.
He had
That
high
brother.
high upside.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
just he has to get to a team that's going to give him the playing time so that we can really see what he's made of. And
Mhm.
we've seen it a little bit with Golden State. It's just whatever him and fucking Steve Kerr and the coaching staff got going on. I don't know. That ain't my business.
Mhm.
Look, when he get traded, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Yeah.
But I think Golden State they need somebody who can consistently shoot it. They old as fuck, or at
Yeah.
least they starters are old as fuck.
Yeah.
They're super old in they starting five and super young on their bench,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
But if they can get a solid 3 and D guy, but I think The one guy. So if I'm Golden State, the one guy that I go after would be Daniel Gafford from the Mavs.
That would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense. I
Good.
also heard that they've been looking to trade for Michael Porter Jr. out of Brooklyn
I
as
saw.
well. That'd be good.
I saw that too. I saw
Hmm.
that too, and so I'm like, that will give one of them. You're either going to go for a scorer. Y'all really need rim
Hmm.
protection though. That's just me. Like over the years of watching Golden State play, even when they've won championships, they haven't had that rim protector that they that some of your teams have.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they had somebody who could rim protect, run the floor, that's really all you got to do. Protect the rim,
Hmm.
run the floor. You gonna get the ball.
Yeah.
You gonna
Yeah.
get the ball running the floor. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. They've had players that could do that to a certain degree, but not to where it's
nobody.
needed to like win games. Like
Yeah,
like Al Horford, he's
no,
he's an old guy,
Al's old.
so you can't really expect too much from him.
He's
He
old.
could block shots here and there, but like I said, not where he used to back in the day. Of course, Draymond, we know he's Draymond,
No,
he's gonna
he's
play good
old.
defense, but like I
He's
said,
old.
like you say, he old
Me
too.
and Draymond look the
Yeah.
same right now with our fucking beards, gray as fuck.
I
Dog, you
mean,
old.
that's why I say it would definitely make sense to get a guy like Gafford, a guy that brings tremendous size and rim protection, and brings that physicality. He'll fit right in.
Yeah,
He'll fit right in. So I can see that happening. You switch out Gafford for Kaminga, that could work. Then you probably have to add other pieces like draft capital or other contracts to make the money work.
I was
But
gonna say, yeah, you might have to add a third team. I know that Michael Porter Jr. trade, you're gonna have to add a third team. I think he just
probably,
because
probably so. Yeah,
didn't he
probably.
just get a deal with the Nets?
Uh, he didn't just get a deal with the Nets. I knew that he signed a contract extension with the Nuggets a while back. I don't know what the numbers are. I know that he's making around 30 million a year,
Yeah,
around that ballpark, somewhere in there. So yeah, and Golden State, they don't want to, give up any of the young cores,
nope.
young core play. I mean, not young, but core players just in general. So they probably have to bring a third team in. So.
Yeah, I don't know why they want
Mhm.
to keep this old ass team together outside of Steph. Steph's the one that you. Hey, Steph's untouchable. Outside of that,
Of course.
all y'all are up for grabs. That would be me.
Hey,
That would be me. All y'all up for grabs. But
I mean, hey, it looks like they're trying to make one final push
mm,
to go win. So I understand that they want to be a little greedy, but yeah, but I mean, it just depends on how much they want to, get Michael Porter Jr. To improve the roster. But we know Kaminga's on the way out, so they may maximize whatever value that they get back in return. So
I still be
so
worried about Michael Porter Jr. back, man. Like, dude, you came out of college with a bad back.
hey, he hasn't been that bad though,
No,
injury wise since he
I
came
just
in.
always, yeah, I'm always leery as someone who has a bad back. I'm always,
Yeah, he would have
always
gone
leery.
at least he would have at least
Oh, he
went into the top five if that back
absolutely
was
because
never an
he
issue.
was
He was supposed to be the number one, but
that motherfucker was bad, but that damn that damn back got him, and I mean,
yes,
but it
man,
worked out for him because he went to Denver, and then we saw what Denver turned into. So it kind of worked out for him,
that was a really great team.
man.
Really, really great team. Murray,
Uh,
Jokic, and everybody.
uh, the Grizzlies. We know John Morant has not been playing. We know why. Anytime players, anytime you hear players are not playing, and it's not because of a actual injury, for real,
Hmm.
they about to go. They about to get traded. They about to
Yeah,
get traded.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
That's
because they're out in Berlin, they played the Magic today out in Berlin, and Ja didn't play. And then on
one
top of
thing. One thing. One thing I
that,
do. I want to say between the Grizzlies and the Magic. Did you see that dunk
Yes,
by Anthony Black?
Anthony Black on four of them. Four of them.
Dunk of the year. Dunk
Hold on.
of the year.
Hold on.
That was
You're gonna have to.
sick. Man, that was crazy, bro. Crazy.
He he got that
four,
Hey,
bro.
he had
Man,
he had that fucking in him. He was like, "Hey, fuck it, I'm about to go. I'm about to see what they about."
man, he just didn't care. Like 4 guys, I never seen that ever. Never.
Shout out, Anthony Black. That was a tough. That dunk
Yeah,
was tough.
that's a dunk of the year.
That dunk
There's
was
no
tough.
doubt about it.
But
No doubt about it.
back to John Morant. Where do you see? I know you mentioned Miami.
Mhm.
I don't know. I was going to say Toronto, but
Toronto is interested in John Morant. Yeah,
they're interested.
they're trying to get off of Emmanuel quickly, so I
But
can see that happening.
Daniel Quickly's actually doing. He's doing.
He's been playing good, but that contract of his,
Yeah,
I think you could have gotten him, much less than what he got.
Yeah.
Because he's getting paid for like over 30 million. So, but I think you could sign up for much less.
I feel like that's the going rate, even if you're not like that. Like if you can put up points, if you can sustain a good stat line, that 20 to 30 million range is like that seems like the average now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you.
I know 20 to 30 million sounds crazy because especially
it's not.
Well, no,
it's
I'm
not
saying compared to what contracts used to look like.
Yeah.
30 million per year sounds crazy. If you hear that, then you're definitely the star of the team.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
In this day and age, with
that's not really a lot.
That's a drop in the bracket.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, for John Morant, there's not. It's kind of the same thing with Trey, where there's not many teams that needs a point guard. Pretty much every team is pretty much set on their point guard position. So
I heard at one point they were talking about him going to Minnesota.
I can see that happening. Yeah,
I was trying to figure out who the hell Minnesota gonna give up.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of parameters.
I know you're gonna throw in Mike Conley. I know you're throwing Mike Conley. Let's see real quick. I'm gonna pull up their roster real quick. But I know Mike Conley for sure would be in that mix for a trade. Hell, unfortunately, and I like Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think these last few times where it's come to a trade, he's been a part of that trade. Yeah, he 10 mil, almost 11 million is his salary. Yeah, he up out of there.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, John Morant is making almost 40 million a year, 40 million this year, and then next season Dell. Well, actually, no. Well, let me see. Yeah, I take that back. So this year he's making 42 million. 42 million this year, and then the season after that he'll jump up to 44 million. So yeah, so you're talking about getting rid of Conley, and you're probably having to add someone like a Dante DiVincenzo, and then probably add a pick or two. I just don't see them getting off of a Rudy Gobert or a Julius Randle. So something like that, that type of framework where you're having to package multiple role players and then draft capital to make it work. From what I read, I'm not sure how accurate this is. They're looking for a young player and in a first round pick. So it could be those guys.
Ooh, the Grizzlies.
Yeah, as far as what they want in return for John Morant, I don't think that's exactly what they want in return. I think that's just what they want part of the package. So they may add it.
For them, they need to go into a rebuild. Like
of course,
this point, it's time to go into a rebuild.
They're not contending.
Because to be honest, Triple J might be out of there too.
Now I did hear that we could go after not John Morant, but Jaren Jackson, the Hawks, if
Mhm.
they decide to move off of John Morant for real, then
Mhm.
he could be another guy that we could possibly get.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's time for Memphis to blow it up and start fresh. I mean, I don't know who you're gonna build around after that.
well, they have multiple first round picks that they received
Yeah,
from the Magic when they traded Desmond Bain. So
yeah. I'm
they
just
have
I'm looking at their roster now, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. Well, I would say Jerry Jackson Jr. is the second guy, but hell,
who
yeah,
knows if he's going
I'm not
if
trying to build
he's going
around
to be
Jerry
there.
Jackson Jr. either. So
Yeah, I mean, who knows if he's going to stay put.
that's crazy.
I
Both of
know
these.
that they have Zach Edey, but I don't
Mhm.
think he's really a guy
I'm
to.
just saying he's been hurt. Shit, he's still hurt.
Yeah, so he's not really a guy to build around. So I don't know. It could be where they're going to trade Jaw and trade Triple J
Mhm.
and try to tank this year to see if they get a high quality, a high draft pick and
Shit,
go from there.
they
So
waited late for that one.
yeah,
Oh,
but I mean,
no,
other teams are doing that too, or at least
bro.
considering it.
Where they sit? They
Memphis,
are
Dallas.
so they're 10th. So actually they're playing Jesus. They're a playing team
Hmm.
right now. But the Clippers have, I guess, found some fight in them.
Yeah, because
And
they were sure looking towards the bottom of the sea, and then
man,
they're starting to float a little bit.
man.
So
I mean, they
they
still
starting to
not
tighten up a
good.
little bit.
Look, they still
Yeah, they're
not
still not good. They're still not good. So
good, but they
which
gonna
is good. Which
they
is
gonna
good.
fuck around and find themselves in the play in at the very least.
Yeah.
Who else we talked about? We talked about the Mavs with AD. Um, we've talked about AD before, and of course, our main concern is his health.
Hmm.
That's not going to change when it comes to Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
That's more of a is it worth the risk for your team?
Hmm.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. We mentioned the Kings with Demontis Sabonis, which
Hmm.
if I'm a team, I'm very interested in Demontis. I think he's a good
Yeah.
player. Um, Unfortunately, he's not with a good organization at the moment. Um,
Hmm.
and I feel, to be honest, they need to blow whatever they got over there because I don't know what they have over there. They just need to blow the shit up.
It's going to be more than just blowing up the roster because I mean the Kings they haven't been relevant for years.
Right.
And I think it's more than just a roster makeover. Now they could prove people wrong, including myself, with their front office. Now they could blow it all up and try to build a team in their vision. But I think it's more of an ownership issue more than anything. Because, like I said, they've been relevant for a very long time, and they're one of those teams like Charlotte where they just haven't really had much success.
Right.
But yeah, they definitely should blow it up and go to a rebuild and go from there. You also have Zach Levine that they may want to get off of, and other guys, and they have
Malik is another guy that I would be interested in. Hey,
yeah, he's a name to watch as well. Yeah,
yeah,
Malik Monk,
like
yeah,
and that's crazy. Outside of, I'm not throwing Russ in there. Russ at this point, with Russ could retire right now. His career is solidified.
hmm
Um,
yeah.
Zach Levine, I don't know how much ball he has left, or how many more times teams are going to take a chance on him. Um,
Yeah, he may have another good
what's what's my
three
what's
years.
DeMar
Now I
DeRozan?
did,
DeMar
man.
DeRozan, he's another guy. It's like I don't know how much longer because Demar been
Demar's up there. He's around
up there in
Steph
years.
age, like
Yeah,
33, 34, 35.
yeah.
So
Demar's
he's up
Demar's
there.
up
He's up
there,
there in age.
which he can still get you buckets. Yeah, he's 36. He
Oh,
can still get you
36. Okay.
buckets, but
Yeah.
also, are you willing to take on? Are you willing to take him, and how are you going to use him once you get DeMar DeRozan? Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
let me see
Yeah,
who.
I think I do. I did see earlier today that Indiana they're looking to upgrade their front court depth. So what I read was that they're interested in Onyeka Okongwu out of Atlanta, Zubac out of the Clippers, and also Daniel Gafford out of Dallas as well. So they're trying to upgrade their front court. I guess more than likely they're trying to upgrade their front court after losing Miles Turner, which is understandable. So,
Yeah,
but that'd be interesting to watch and see what happens on that front too. So
and then our final team that we mentioned was the Raptors,
yeah,
and we vaguely talked about them as far as possibly trading for Ja, but
yeah, either Jaw or AD, they're still in the mix. Uh, it's both Atlanta and Toronto that are the front runners to trade for AD.
mhm,
It to me it seems like Atlanta would be the favorite only because Dallas they're trying to get off of long term money
mhm,
because they're more focused on building around Cooper Flag, of course. So they're trying to get off of long term money so that way they can do that and build around Cooper Flag. Toronto, they don't really have they have more intriguing players such as quickly Jacoporto and RJ Barrett. Is just I'm not sure if Dallas will want to take on those any of those contracts. So like I said, Atlanta they have the ability to offer cap flexibility to Dallas since we have multiple expiring contracts. So
mhm,
uh but I think it's just more so if we're able if we are willing to offer or give any draft capital to Dallas, and I know they've been interested in Zachary Shea, the former number one overall pick back in 2024. So
damn,
I
already.
guess those pretty much the roadblocks at the moment. So um yeah, so I don't know. I think I will say at this point with this hand injury that Dallas has, I don't think they would be asking for significant draft capital.
Mhm,
I think I don't think Atlanta should offer any draft capital at all. I think it's I think the trade should be kind of like a Trae Young trade where you're just trading multiple expiring contracts to Dallas and then call it a day. So I think that's how it'll be at this moment. But that's if Dallas really wants to get off of AD. So I think
right,
just be guys that are on expiring contracts, so that way they can get their cap sheet clean situated. But
yeah,
but like I said, we'll see what happens next.
but yeah, we're gonna stick. We'll stick with the Raptors, man. They look good this year. They
Yeah,
fucking look good this year. They are currently fourth place in the East with 25-17 record. Um, they added some pieces, especially bringing in Brandon Ingram. I mean, mentioned about Emmanuel Quickly, who you said they're trying to get from under for contract reasons, but
mhm,
he's hooping this year. He's been more pretty much their playmaker. Um,
yeah,
got Brandon Ingram, who's been their steady primary scorer. Then Scotty Barnes with his versatility and being able to adjust. Like it seems like everything just kind of fell in place once they put these pieces together, and not to exclude RJ Barrett. So it's crazy because the one thing that's got them to this point is their defense.
mhm,
Their defense is what it keeps them in the game. They have
yep,
the all around size and wingspan. Um, they're they can switch on damn near anybody outside their point guard. So from shooting guard up. They can switch on anybody, and they got playmaking defenders. So pretty much they got active hands, and when you got active hands, defense turns into offense.
Yep.
The biggest thing is they rank first in fast break points at 19.2. Fourth in deflections, like I mentioned, having active hands. They're ranked fourth in the NBA in deflections with 20.3. And then they hover right around that 50% range when it comes to rebound percentage. Words are hard. So, and for me, if you can control the boards, you can control the game. So, and that's going from ending your opponent's possession, and then if you're offense, gaining extra possession. So, how you feel about the Raptors as of right now?
It's not really shocking of how they've been playing this year, honestly, and it it kind of does disappoint me because we were close to getting Brandon Ingram this past
I thought y'all
trade
were.
deadline. Yeah, and my thing is this: is that Toronto, they've had a pretty talented roster before Brandon Ingram got there, or at least had intriguing players with the likes of Scotty Barnes, of course, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. So to me, they weren't that far behind of competing in the Eastern Conference. So when they made that move to go get Brandon Ingram, now they are a top 14. This was a team that was one of the worst teams in the NBA last year. And so now when you add a proven veteran in Brandon Ingram, now you see how much that has affected this team. Because one thing about Brandon Ingram is that him and that mid-range jumper is, they are attached to the hip. And that's where he kills you every single time. Every single time. It's bread and butter. So now you add a proven scorer with Brandon Ingram. Now that allows Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett to be effective in their own way. And that's going to cause more problems to opposing teams. And like I said, with them being a top 4 seed, you're seeing how much a player like Brandon Ingram, his presence has, made so much of a difference. So yeah, I think that they would make other moves. I'm not sure what it would be, but just by what they are right now and how they've been able to win games is because RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, and Scotty Barnes, these guys have been able to mesh pretty quickly together. So I think Brandon Ingram is a terrific fit. Like I say, he can beat you in multiple ways with his mid-range jumper and against the free throw line and all those things. So yeah, he's a really good fit for Toronto. And so I think at this point they're just more focused on what other players they could bring in to take it to that next level. So that's why I say if they're able to get off of Manuel quickly and able to bring in a guy like John Morant, and like I said, I know that they've been interested in Sabonis and AD. I think that can work. It's just more so if Barnes can play the 3, I think he can with his athleticism and his mobility. So I could see that in a way. So it's just a lot of things just to really, look into as far as what players or player would be, which player would be a better fit. But I mean, if you're able to get us a bonus on this team, so you're talking about a front court of Ingram, Barnes, and Sabonis, maybe. I mean, that's going to cause more damage because one thing about Sabonis and AD, when they're at their best, these are guys that can give you 20 and 10 on any given night. But
Yep.
that's a big if. So you got to look at the big picture. So yeah, but so far Toronto has been playing very good this year.
Yeah, I think, and I got written down in my notes. I think that they need either a point guard and or a center.
Yeah.
Their biggest thing outside of their starting 5 is their because they have the depth. They have the depth, and their bench actually has been doing what you want your bench to do, and that's to come in, be productive, either extend the lead or at least protect the lead or make a run. Just do those little things to make sure that we can win the game when it come down to crunch time.
Yep.
Grady Dick. Grady Dick was a big name coming out of Kansas as far as when he got there. He's taking a little dip, but over these past few games, he's been at the point where he's hit some meaningful shots and has done his job to make sure that that second squad that comes out there does what they need to do to, like I said, keep the lead, extend the lead, or just don't fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
I will say he does need to work on his 3-point shooting. He's shooting just under 30%. You did a lot better your first 2 years. I need you. You're gonna have to step it up, my guy.
Yep.
Jamal Sheed, he's been the reserve point guard for them, averaging 5.5 assists. Has a 4.2 assist to turnover ratio, which is great. That's what you want in your point guard. Bring back real point guards. Bring back the point guards that's not looking to shoot, but to actually make the plays and get their buckets in stride. Setting your team up, and that's what it looks like Jamal has been doing. Their bench, like I said, their bench has come in and has been able to hit keep that stride going for the Raptors. Like I said, at 25 and 17, they're in a good spot, but also looking at the standings, if you have a 2 to 3 game slip up, you're gonna drop. And when I say you're gonna drop, you're gonna fuck around and be 8, 9.
Yeah, you need more separation.
Yeah.
You need more separation.
And that's to include Detroit. Detroit has a 4-game lead right now up on the Knicks. But from 2 all the way to 7, they're neck and neck. Like it's either a game or a half a game.
It's always been that way for the past few seasons, where teams like 2nd through 7th, they all have around the same record, and it's like if you go on a 2-game winning streak, you could be a playing team. So,
because right
you
now,
literally can.
Your playing teams, your playing teams are Cleveland, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago.
Yep.
If the season ended right now, those are your playing teams. So again, we still got plenty of season left. So there's that part. We still have the trade deadline that's coming up, so we'll see what moves are made. But overall, shout out to the Raptors. Because I had no clue what this team was going to look like. I didn't have a clue what they were going to look like with the roster that they had. But just like the Pistons, they are shocking the hell out of everybody at the moment with the way that they're playing and where they sit in the standings. Anything else, dog?
No, sir. We're just trickling down to the trade deadline. I know that's when things will get more exciting and more things to talk about. But I'm pretty sure next week we'll have more things to discuss, and we may see a trade go down between now and next week.
I know a team that needs to be discussed. But I'll put that in the chat. I think that may be something that we have to kind of we'll probably move forward with, like just kind of putting the spotlight on teams as the season goes along, because we're at that dead point.
Yeah,
we're at that dead point in the NBA. The NBA Cup is done. The All-Star game is just around the corner, so players are kind of just going through the motions. So, and we're trying to make it the All-Star break, but hopefully we get some excitement here as far as trades and anything else that happens in between. before we head out, please hit the QR code. Has all the socials. Again, go to the YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page, follow us on Twitter. I don't be talking about much for real, but I try and get these jokes off every now and again. Also, shout out to the Best Damn W show. As always, please go give that show a follow as well. And that's for anything women's basketball. Hey, we all about hoops around here. Outside of that, man. Oh, last thing, Antoine, please get well. We will see you hopefully we will see you next week, brother. Lord
Absolutely,
willing,
bro.
Lord willing, as my grandma always say.
Yeah, absolutely. Get well, brother.
Yes, sir.
Get well.
And hey, man, another show in the books. We'll holler at y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
What's up? They gave me my theme music.